there's an hypothesized land that used to connect them. That's why it's called Lemuria.
Burn the
So
Lemuria.
is it not?
But I don't think that's true because we know that Indians had trade routes with Madagascar. We know that there
Uh,
was trade routes from India to Southern Africa. So
so
What?
they might
it
Well,
have
may.
well.
brought it. They
India,
might have.
India once was a part of South African continent
Array,
That
when it
was
chill.
a
was.
You don't
Yeah,
need
long,
to go
long
that
time ago.
old.
yeah.
That
It
was
was
You
like
don't
like
need to go that
when it was
old.
a.
The
Yeah,
Lemos
when
would have just come on the ships and then while trading,
yeah,
these ships
exactly.
would go there and just go there. You don't need to have continents joined. The ships,
yeah, it
rats
was back
have
when there
more
was Pangea,
power
right?
to
When
ships.
Pangea used to exist.
अरे इतना दूर क्यों जा रहे हो? It's not required. We know that rats used to go on ships and then spread all over the world. That's how the Black Plague spread. So
Yeah, the
yeah,
Black Plague in Britain and entire Europe. गेट बंद कर देना भोसड़ी के.
wow. Did you just call your son a boss? Not son. Your brother a
Sorry
boss
about
DK?
that.
Dog safe alert.
Yeah, man.
Ugh. Anyone into As You Like It? I'm reading it for like the third time.
Remind me what's as you like it. Is it the?
Shakespearean play.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that now. I don't think I've read
If you are from
Shakespearean play.
ICSE board, you might have had it in your
I'm not from the
curriculum.
ICIC board. I
Neither me,
read
but
Romeo and Juliet. I've read that's the other one. I forgot. Shit.
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar Naire. That's the story of where one of the Roman emperors would attack
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
African kingdom and he would marry the
No,
woman and stuff. I
the
remember this. That's
Tempest.
the
I
stage
actually
stories.
don't know the name of the plot you are saying right now. I know a bunch of Shakespearean play though. I The Tempest is my favorite.
Yeah, The Tempest is my favorite too.
Yeah, but I love As You Like It. It has some kind of obscurity and obfuscation in it. And also, going to Dharamshala in
Oh
my
yes,
Clotons tomorrow.
Titus Andronicus.
What?
Titus Andronicus. Titus
I've,
Andronicus.
I've
That's the
actually
play.
not heard of it.
You have
May-
Titus, the renowned Roman general who gets his hand cut off and all that shit.
Titus Andronicus, wow.
Yeah, I've read that. I think I've read about around 3 to 4 Shakespeare books,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't find them so.
They're not relevant to be honest.
I don't find them anything to be driving or something.
Yeah,
I
they're
find
not
their
relevant,
plays,
at least in India.
their plays seem boring or slow. Like like literally the only moment where I found interest in the entire set I had was when Titus gets his hands cut because he betrays the Roman generals or something. He gets his hands cut and then he cries about how he bleeds. That was literally the high point in reading the Shakespeare's play.
No, every Shakespearean play has that sort of anime plot twist, like in Julius Caesar, where they murder Caesar. Like there's
Oh,
always a plot
yeah,
twist.
but
Yeah,
that's less of a plot twist and more of a historical thing, no?
yeah, very
So
true.
I don't know, like उसको historical के perspective से देखा हमने. I don't look at it as some
I
dramatical change or
I actually
something.
look at it from a dramatic point of view because I
Acha.
don't think
I
any of
haven't
it
read
has
it, so I
any
don't know.
citation to history or any of it is true in real life.
I remember another dark one by Shakespeare. I forgot the name. It's very
Uh,
famous. A husband and a wife. The husband has some three witches that uh, curse him. I forgot the name.
you should read about. Wait.
Oh, it's Macbeth. Fucking forgot Macbeth.
You should read the book The Fine Balance. Has anyone read it? A Fine Balance by Rohington
Fine
Mistry.
balance.
So yeah,
Spell
that
cover.
writer, that author is like, he's like, has anyone read Khushwant Singh?
No, I don't think so. I really
Khushwant
don't
Singh
think
has
so.
a sprinkle of dark comedy here and there in his book.
See, let's start the reading. All right, I'm ready to start. In 3, 2, 5, 4. Just after Willie completes his message, from prove that this fire into a process. Okay, never mind. Let's start. Are you ready? Tell me when you're ready. You will line for the past 15 minutes. Okay, I'll start. But first, let us read about this induction and what's the difference between induction and deduction. So, induction is a specific form. Okay, cool. Induction is a specific form of reasoning in which the premises of an argument support a conclusion but do not ensure it. The topic of induction is important in analytic philosophy for several reasons and is discussed in several philosophical subfields including logic, epistemology, and philosophy of science. However, the most important philosophical interest in induction lies in the problem of whether induction can be justified. This problem is often called the problem of induction and was discovered by Scottish philosopher David Hume. Can you talk, Ponsi? Manika. Sorry, can you talk? Hello. You need to talk. No, but I need someone to discuss this chapter. It's not on page number, it's a different article. What's the difference between induction and deduction? There is weak induction, there is strong induction, there's mathematical. Hello, Mister, please talk. Please talk. Talk. Therefore, it would be worthwhile to define what philosophers mean by induction and to distinguish it from other forms of reasoning. It would also be helpful to present Hume's problem of induction, Nelson Goodman's new riddle of induction, and statistical as well as probabilistic interference as potential solution to these problems. The sort of induction that philosophers are interested in is known as enumerative induction. Enumerative induction comes in two types, strong and weak induction. Strong induction has the following form. A1 is a B1, A2 is a B2, AN is a BN. Hence, all A's are B's. An example of strong induction is that all ravens are black because each raven that has been observed has been black. Weak induction, but notice that one need not make such a strong interference with induction because there are two types, the other being weak induction. Weak induction has the following form. A1 is a B1, A2 is a B2, AN is a BN. Therefore, the next A will be a B. An example of weak induction is that because every raven has been ever observed as in black, the next observed raven will be black. Hmm. Okay. So that's weak induction. I hope you understood the difference. And yeah. Oh shit. Mathematical induction. Enumerative induction should not be confused with mathematical induction, while enumerative induction occurs matters of empirical fact. Mathematical induction concerns matters of mathematical fact. Specifically, mathematical induction is what mathematicians use to make claims about an infinite set of mathematical objects. Mathematical induction is different from enumerative induction because mathematical induction guarantees the truth of its conclusion since it rests on what is called an inductive definition, sometimes called a recursive definition. What? Uh, hmm. Yeah, mathematical induction guarantees the truth, basically, of its conclusion, whereas enumerative induction, that is strong, and weak induction do not. It rests on what is called inductive definition, sometimes called a recursive definition. Inductive definitions define sets of mathematical objects. They consist of a base clause to specify the basic elements of the set. One or more inductive clauses specifying how additional elements are generated from existing elements, and a final clause piloting that all of elements are set are either basic in the set or because of one or more applications of the inductive clause or clauses. For example, the set of natural numbers can be inductively defined as follows. 1.0 is 1. 0 is an element of n. 2. For an element x, if x is an element in n, then x plus 1 is an element in n. Nothing else is an element of n unless it satisfies condition 1 or 2, which is cool. Thus, in example 1, the base clause, 2, the inductive case, and 3, the final clause. Now, inductive definitions are helpful because, as mentioned before, mathematical inductions are infallible precisely because they rest on inductive definitions. What is infallible? Infallible is incapable of making mistakes or being wrong, incapable of being wrong. Thus, because of base clause, inductive clause, and final clause, inductive definitions are helpful because they rest on mathematical inductions are infallible. That is, they're not capable of being wrong because they rest on inductive definitions. Consider the following mathematical induction that proves the sum of the numbers between 0 and a natural number n is such that Sn is equal to 1 by 2 n plus 1, which is a result of first proven by mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss. First, we know that 0 equal to it is. Now assume Sm is equal to this for some natural number m. Then Sm plus 1 represents Sm plus m plus 1. It follows that Sm plus m plus 1 is equal to half m plus 1. Furthermore, since half m plus 1 is equal to m plus 1, half follows that half m is equal, but then since the first level shows that 0 is the set satisfies Sn half n plus 1, and second subproof shows that any number that satisfies Sn half the natural number that is consecutive which satisfies Sn half. Then the inductive definition of n has the same elements as it satisfies n for all natural numbers. Notice that our mathematical induction is infallible because it rests on inductive definition of n. However, like mathematical induction, inductions are not infallible because they do not rest on inductive definitions. Whoa, mind blown. I think we should go through the proof once again, the Gauss proof. First, we know that 0 is equal to half 0, 0 plus 1 is equal to 0. Now 0 Because then, okay, it starts from the formula itself. Mm. It started with the base clause that is 0 is an element of n. Then it proved x plus 1 is part of n. Hence, final clause. This one is equal to half n of n plus 1 holds for all natural numbers by inductive definition. Non-inductive reasoning. Induction contrasts with two other important forms of reasoning, deduction and abduction. Deduction is a form of reasoning whereby the premises of an argument guarantee the conclusion. Or more precisely, in a deductive argument, if premises are true, then conclusion is true. Whereas in inductive, they just support the conclusion, but they do not ensure its truthness. There are several forms of deduction, but the most basic one is modus ponens. Modus ponens, which has the following form: if A, then B. A, therefore B. Deductions are unique because they guarantee the truth of their conclusions if their premises are true. Consider the following example of a deductive argument. Either Tim runs slack or he plays. Either Tim runs track or he plays tennis. Tim does not play tennis, therefore Tim runs track. There is no way that the conclusion of this argument can be false if its premises are true. Now consider the following inductive argument. Statement 1. Every raven that has ever been observed has been black. Statement 2. Therefore, all ravens are black. The argument is deductively invalid because its premises can be true while its conclusion is false. For instance, some ravens could be brown, although no one has seen them yet. Thus, a feature of induction is that they are deductively invalid. So, always rely on deductive reasoning, I guess. Abduction. Abduction is a form of reasoning whereby an antecedent is inferred from its consequent. What the fuck is antecedent? A thing that existed before or logically precedes another ancestor. Okay. Abduction is a form of reasoning whereby an antecedent is inferred from its consequent. The form of abduction is below. If A, then B, B, therefore A. Notice the abduction is deductively invalid as well because the truth of the premises is an abductive argument does not guarantee the truth of their conclusions. For example, even if all dogs have legs, seeing legs does not imply that they belong to a dog. Abduction is also distinct from induction, although both forms of reasoning are used amply in everyday as well as scientific reasoning. While both forms of reasoning do not guarantee the truth of their conclusions, scientists since Isaac Newton have believed that induction is a stronger form of reasoning than abduction. Okay, so strong induction is A1 is a B1, A2 is a B2, AN is a BN. Therefore, all A's are B's. Weak induction is same A1 is a B1, A2 is a B2, AN is a B1, BN. Therefore, the next A will be a B. Mathematical induction has 0 as an element for an element. Then, okay. Deduction, if A, then B, A, therefore B. And abduction, if A, then B, B, therefore A. But it's not detective. It's not, yeah, it's deductively invalid because you can have uh, you can have A with B, but if never mind. The example is good enough. Even if all dogs have legs, seeing legs does not imply that they belong to a dog. The problem of induction. David Hume questioned whether induction was a strong form of reasoning in his classic text, a treatise of human nature. In this text, Hume argues that induction is an unjustified form of reasoning for the following reason. One believes inductions are good because nature is uniform in some deep respect. For instance, one induces that all ravens are black from a small sample of black ravens because he believes that there is a regularity of blackness among ravens, which is particular uniformity in nature. However, why suppose there is a regularity of blackness among ravens? What justifies this assumption? Hume claims that one knows that nature is uniform either deductively or inductively. However, one admittedly cannot deduce this assumption, and an attempt to induce the assumption only makes a justification of induction circular. Thus, induction is an unjustifiable form of reasoning. This is Hume's problem of induction. Instead of becoming a skeptic about induction, Hume sought to explain how people make inductions and consider this explanation as a good of a justification of induction that could be made. Hume claimed that one could make inductions because of habits. In other words, habit explains why one induces that all ravens are black from seeing nothing but black ravens beforehand. Back to the text. Page number 28, view of certain writers on the nature of arithmetical propositions. Are numerical formula provable? This is text statement, paragraph 5, whatever. We must distinguish numerical formulas such as 2 plus 3 equal to 5, which deal with particular numbers, from general laws, which hold good for all whole numbers. The former are held by some philosophers to be unprovable and immediately self-evident like axioms. Kant. It was said by Kant. Okay. In his book Critique of Pure Reason. Kant declares them to be unprovable and synthetic, but hesitates to call them axioms because they are not general and because the form of them is infinite. What is synthetic philosophy once again? Synthetic philosophy. A notion of synthetic truth is of something that is true both because of what it means and because the way the world is, whereas analytical truths are true in virtue of meaning alone. Synthetic proposition. Any proposition whose truth is dependent on the relation between the content of the proposition and the world is labeled synthetic. Analytic proposition are propositions that are true in virtue of the meaning of the proposition.
You guys were talking about something?
Yeah, reading क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? I
Reading.
expected some reading.
We'll
Ramsey,
move.
please. Ram,
Yeah, so any proposition whose truth is dependent on relationship between the content of proposition and the world is labeled synthetic. Analytic propositions are propositions that are true in virtue of the meaning of the proposition. For example, bachelors are unmarried men. Is analytic because this is true in virtue of the meaning of the proposition. Cato is a dog. It's synthetic because it is true depending on the relation between the content of the proposition and the world. Okay. Read more about analytic synthetic distinction. The analytic synthetic distinction is a semantic distinction used primarily in philosophy to distinguish propositions, in particular statements that are affirmative subject predicate judgments, into two types: analytic propositions and synthetic propositions. Analytic propositions are true by virtue of their meaning, while synthetic propositions are true how their meaning relates to the world. However, philosophers have used them in very different ways. Furthermore, philosophers have debated whether there is a legitimate distinction. The philosopher Immanuel Kant uses the term analytic and synthetic to divide proposition into two types. Kant introduces the analytic synthetic distinction in the introduction to his Critique of Pure Reason, where he restricts his attention to statements that are affirmative subject predicate judgments and defined analytic proposition and synthetic proposition as follows. Analytic proposition, a proposition whose predicate concept is contained in its subject concept, whereas synthetic proposition is a proposition whose predicate concept is not contained in its subject concept but related. Examples of analytic propositions are all bachelors are unmarried, all triangles have three sides. I'm reading Wikipedia distinction between analytic and synthetic proposition. Vamsi. It's a Wikipedia article. Holy shit, we have a spam. I have to ban. One, two, three, four, five, six. Fuck your upper.
Here.
And he got muted too automatically. Wow. Let's see what was his Discord. Conservative Republic. Okay. And all right-wing conservative servers. Do you want to join this circle?
Wait, what?
Conservative Republic server.
कहाँ देखा I want to see. Like, give me a link of where you found.
Have a great time here in our beautiful American capitalist conservative server. Make America great again. Wow.
Fucking delusions. I swear to God, the alt-right is delusional.
Oh, you want to show it
Wait,
on screen? Sorry. Wait, I'll give you the link, Vamsi.
wait, how do you see the stream in Discord? Like, in voice chat and shit. How do you do that?
What?
Like, how do you access streams and such in Discord?
Uh, what? So,
If
so,
I
so,
remove,
yeah. So I think Fluorescent did something and
yeah, that shit.
yeah. Wait, I am not sure. Wait, I'll try.
And where the fuck did you find that link?
It was getting spammed there in the
Oh,
quality server.
acha. Gotcha. Honestly, don't care. I really don't align myself with the alt-right. I only aligned with them during the early 2016s for the presidential election because I found it intriguing to follow them. Now I just think they're fucking retards.
Every site has those. Screen sharing and video calls.
Tu.
Wait, how did he do that? Holy shit!
Exactly.
Is it
Let
only
me
in US thingy? Wait,
let me see.
voice and video settings, no video devices. I think Vamsi can do it. Can you go to video settings and see if you have uh,
Okay, the streamer mode. How to connect your Discord server? No, not that part. Holy shit, I'm trying to download a video from YouTube and it's taking so long. Oh, you have streamer mode in user settings.
No, that's different.
No, not that same one. Accessible to high note permission, streamer mode, break it down, automatic adjust permission, hide information, disable sounds and notification. No, not this. Fuck, okay. Discord, so Discord really tells how to. Discord, how to use Discord voice chat device. That. How to connect your Discord live stream direct? No. No. Not this. What the fuck? Makes me wanna kill myself. Oh fuck, I'm gonna vomit. Oh.
Hello. Hello.
Oh.
Can you see the
Why the?
screen?
Oh, I'm gonna ask you why the fuck did you just do that?
What?
Why go to your India polity?
Because I
Account?
cannot talk on laptop. That's why.
Really? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's fucked up. But
कौन
can
सा
you
laptop
see?
है तेरा? What's your
Can you
model?
see the
Yes,
video?
and I can see
No,
the.
no, I can do it, but no, it's like it has malfunctioned. That's it.
क्या चूतिया पर malfunction?
Yeah, both
Go get
micro
it
my
serviced
dude,
or something.
I'm too lazy for that.
What is your model? Like laptop का model बता
It's
ना.
some AS something. I don't remember. Very old.
Company at least बता.
Asus.
अच्छा,
Our
Asus का. You can get it. So I'm pretty sure it works clean. How do I do this? Vamsi, what you do is first you sit down on your seat and then you make sure you can bend all the way till your
uh,
dick and then start sucking it.
go to
Clean
that.
suck. Make sure your tongue goes around the base. Make
Shut
sure
the
it
fuck
also
up.
licks up a bit on the balls. Make sure you
Shut the
lick up
fuck
the
up.
sweat on your balls too. That is very important. Like I swear to God, if you don't suck up the sweat in your balls, it's not gonna work out. Once you do that, then you listen to what fat has to say. Okay, आप बोल.
Yikes. Uh, click on that link, then see you can start the stream screen share in the bottom left. More screen share options and shit.
Hello, Leonardo. Hello, Kim Jong Fun.
Welcome to the video chat. If you're on
Welcome.
if you're on
Video.
laptop, you can access the video chat.
Oh, why did you leave that so? Damn,
Really?
son.
Yeah. Click on the link in voice text.
No, you can't. Sad. How did you do it though, Fato? कैसे
What do you
किया
mean you
तूने?
can't? Everyone can. Just click on the link. The one
अबे
thing will
चूतिया, how
pop
did you
up.
make the link?
You
Lol.
you you don't make the link. I just copied it from Uh,
Oh, yeah. What do you
fluorescence.
do? Oh, okay, gotcha. Fat fuck. Try to right click on a VC and see if you can find a copy link thing.
Maybe I can. Holy shit. What the fuck?
What, did it work?
No, it's not allowing me to.
Interesting.
Wow. What's happening here?
Give me a second, let me try. Kill myself. No, that's not working either. Huh? Wait, give me a second. Copy ID. Nope.
Wait, why? My mouse is stuck. Can you, Vamsi, can you DM me on the other account? I cannot click on your profile. I cannot bring my mouse to Discord.
Oh wow, this is even sadder than I thought. Can you go push to talk, please? Why? Give me a second, I'm gonna try that. Where the fuck is it? Voice relay, voice nova. Are you happy now, Vamsi? I'm now push to talk.
Vamsi, are you still not able to do it?
I don't think he has the will to.
Hello.
Hi, Vamsi.
Why is your account not working?
What? It doesn't work in the mobile. It works through computer.
Yeah, I can't see your screen now.
Really?
Yeah, it's loading nothing.
Then maybe because I stopped it.
Good job then.
Quit Discord. Let's start Discord again.
That's sad, man.
Yeah. But that's about it. Nothing much. It's
Interesting.
great though.
Lit, honestly. I can't. But
How do I add my screen here?
how do you add your what?
There should be an option.
Um,
I think Firefox isn't allowing my video to like.
Oh no,
Why are you
Firefox
on
won't
fire?
work.
Yeah,
Firefox won't
exactly.
work with Discord. You have to use Chrome for that.
No, just use the app.
no, it doesn't show me any option here. You can see the YouTube, right? So,
There is turn on screen share. There with the disconnect thingy. Do you still not see it?
no.
Why?
Now nothing is being streamed right now. For what? Blocks?
You can see the YouTube track. There's nothing here.
Oh, wait 1 second. Can you send it to my India Polity account?
Send what?
The link, YouTube link.
Again?
Yeah.
Go.
Sorry, the program closed unexpectedly.
The
Your computer
YouTube
does
link
not
does
have.
not work. If your YouTube link, it's about a dude talking about PUBG. Shifting away from voice to text because that's shit. I'm gonna try to change on the microphone settings here.
Click on the link.
Okay, there we go. That's good.
Wait, no. You're doing it wrong. Go back. Go back. Double click on your screen.
Wait, are you guys getting a stream or something?
No, double click there. Yeah.
Oh, what's even going on
Yeah. Now go to bottom. Bottom. Dumbass. Bottom.
here? Oh god, this is
Where's the
comedy.
bottom here? Which bottom?
Double click. Double click. Bring it to the square thingies. Yeah. Now, why the fuck? Just keep everyone in the screen. Yeah.
And what do I do now?
What the
There's no option here for me.
I'm waiting for the lag like
Yeah,
to
it
get
just
over.
stop. I'm not doing anything now.
No, you're in your screen. Bring everyone in the picture. Bring all of them.
Yeah, then all of them.
Yeah. Now drag your screen towards bottom. Bottom center. Not screen mouse. Wait, why is there no disconnect option? What the fuck?
There's nothing here for me. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe it's your client issue. Your client does not support it.
Wow. This is a bro moment going on right now.
Yes. The fuck is happening? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm trying this shit out.
Mm-hmm. What's your computer or mobile that you're using right now?
Maybe because you're in streamer mode. That's why. Can you stop streaming?
Who?
Me.
Yeah, I can get it now.
I'm on
See now it
Chrome
is there.
on this.
You can stream whichever window you want to. By the way, you can select by different streaming option.
Oh, wow. Change windows. Isn't it possible to have
No,
you
no, no.
change?
And there is another menu.
Why do
And
we
there is
have
another
to get
tab.
a taskbar? I don't see the reason why. No, yes.
Top.
Oh,
Yeah.
could you just press cancel? Application. Yes, no. Yes,
Entire screen
I'm
is
done.
better, right? So
Oh, nice cascading. Wow. Demi would be proud of this. He would be inspired by what he's seeing right now.
So what do we do now?
I only see
Uh,
Vamsi's screen share.
Vamsi.
Infinite thing.
Because he's the only one doing it. Once you start playing your game.
no, what the fuck off and
Vamsi.
start your reading. I didn't stop my movie to be here.
Oh
Damn.
wow. Damn.
Damn.
Damn. Why the
Sassy.
fuck do you have WhatsApp application? What the fuck?
Because he works like that. Why do you
Does
judge him?
Windows even have WhatsApp? Like I thought it was only that
Who the fuck was
What the
that?
what the fuck? What the fuck was that? And WhatsApp has an application for Windows 10, but you have to have your mobile phone connected to the internet connection. It doesn't work like
I
that.
know that I know that like you can access it through your browser and stuff. In
Yeah,
but
they
I
used to
don't
have a standalone
application
application
like Chrome and stuff. I didn't think
for
it was like
Windows
that.
10. You had the standalone
Can you open the
application on
article?
Windows 7, but now they removed support for Windows 7.
Well, okay. No, we are not on this page. Scroll
What
up.
is this?
Scroll up
Is this the
more.
capitalist manifesto or something?
No, this is Immanuel Kant. You can literally read it there. It's in the goddamn writing.
Oh yeah, we are here.
You're supposed to be here.
Declares them to be unprovable and synthetic, but hesitates to call them axioms because they are not general and because the number of them is infinite. Hankel justifiably calls this conception of infinitely numerous, unprovable, primitive truths incongruous, and paradoxical. The fact is that it conflicts with one of the requirements of reason, which must be able to embrace all first principles in a survey. Okay.
Where are you right now?
What the
Can
fuck
Vamsi?
are
Okay,
first
thank you. Thank
principles?
you.
First principles. of
It should be in the
reasoning.
PDF. Vamsi, try to use search function.
What is this book about?
This book is about foundation of arithmetic. How mm, let's see what is this book about.
Wow.
Wait. No, so it is basically the foundation of analytic philosophy, and
Analytical philosophy.
yeah.
Okay,
So
good.
it says that
Vamsi, stop,
your
please.
argument should be based on logic and
Mhm. Okay, but what is the first principles right now? What does that mean? Vamsi,
exactly
don't.
that's what I'm
Vamsi,
looking for right now. First principle is a basic foundational self-evident proposition or assumption that cannot be
Vamsi, no. Don't know,
listen.
Vamsi. Can you look at your mouse? Mhm.
Look up first principle, Vamsi. First principle in Wikipedia.
Let me look up first principle. First principle. God damn.
Yeah. A first principle is a basic, foundational, self evident proposition or assumption that cannot be deduced from any other proposition or assumption. In philosophy, from any other person. In philosophy, first principles are taught by Aristotelians, and
Aristotelians.
nuanced version of first principles are referred to as postulates by Kantians. In mathematics, first principles are referred to as axioms or postulates. In physics and other sciences, theoretical work is said to be from first principles or ab initio. If it starts directly at the level of established science and does not make assumptions such as empirical model and parameter fitting. In formal logic, in a formal logical system, that is a set of propositions that are consistent with one another, it is possible that some of the statements can be deduced from other statements. For example, in the syllogism, I hope you guys know what is
It
syllogism.
is. Go on.
Yeah. All men are mortal. Socrates is a man. Socrates is mortal. The last claim can be deduced from the first two. The first principle is an axiom that cannot be deduced from any other within that system. The classic example is that of Euclid's Elements. It's hundreds of geometric propositions that can be deduced from a set of definitions, postulates, and common notions. All three types constitute first principles, that is, postulates, common notions, and definitions. What the fuck is Euclid's Elements? Euclid's Elements is a mathematical treatise of 13 books attributed by ancient Greek mathematician Euclid. This book covers it is a collection of definitions, postulates, and propositions, and mathematical proofs of these propositions. The book covers plain and solid. So another point of this Foundations of Arithmetic book is that the mathematicians in 1900s or 20s they had lost track of how mathematics was like how propositions were supposed to be considered as truths because there was uh, there was no basic there was no standard for proving there was no habit for proving the propositions. So the author argued that the proof is necessity for every proposition in mathematics, like Euclid used to do with his propositions. Euclid's Elements has been referred to as most successful and influential textbook ever written. It was one of the very earliest mathematical works to be printed after invention of printing press, has been estimated to be second only to Bible in the number of editions published since first printing in 1482, with the number reaching well over 1,000. For centuries, when the quadrivium was included in the curriculum of all university students. Ooh. I think it has contains five postulates. Basic geometry, I guess. Has anyone read any of the Euclid's books?
Honestly, it has no value to read in this point.
But it says it is one of the most
Yeah, the
popular.
problem is you won't understand it. It's like, how do I take it? I tried to understand Newton's Principle of Mathematics
Mhm.
using the original book. It was impossible. It was a 19th century, not 19th, first decade of 20th century edition, and it was really impossible to understand. You could actually reconstruct all of those laws into a basic mathematics textbook that is done
Oh
in
yeah.
what do you call high
Mhm.
school and such, and that would be the same thing. So trying to read the original books makes no value.
Yeah.
I only know those five postulates and stuff, right? Like two parallel lines can intersect and all that.
Yeah, yeah. You have the
Those are
vertically opposite
different
angles,
even
how
with
the
same radius.
So those are
continue
first
reading.
principles. Yeah.
Continue reading, Momsy, or whoever is reading. No, not you.
So
The book, not this. Your Microsoft Edge, please.
the fact that it conflicts with one of the requirements of reason, which must be able to embrace all the first principles in a survey. Besides, is it really self-evident that 135,664 plus 37,863 is equal to 173,572,7 something question mark? It is not. It is not self-evident. Okay. And Kant actually urges this as an argument for holding these propositions to be synthetic. Now, what is synthetic again? Which is related to the world. The value is like, oh, okay, whatever, fuck it. Why are these terms so difficult?
Because it's a philosophy textbook. They
Yeah.
are very pedantic when
It's
it
not
comes to
some science
words.
thing which you can look up.
No, it's just
A
a play.
proposition whose truth is dependent on the relation between the content of the proposition and world. Holy shit.
It's just a play on words, usually philosophy. You have to be very pedantic in what you say, but at the same time, being pedantic is
Yeah, so the point of this book is to remove the make it more logical, not make philosophy
yeah. The problem is the
play
more you
with
try to make
language.
it logical, the more pedantic it turns out to be in its own way.
Mhm.
You just lose yourself in one form of pedantic in trying to avoid another form. It's the same with reality. When you try to formulate laws that appear to match with reality, you end up being pedantic again.
Fat fuck, you are a history major, right?
What?
No, he's
No,
an engineer.
Who is the
That's
history
the
major in the polity
it's
server?
it's Harappan.
Harappan is there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Satyappan. XD.
Rakar apparently bitched about him somewhere.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was mad.
Con me?
Yeah, on Bakshodi maybe.
No, no, I know. I got pissed off about him because he indirectly referenced to my life as a Wikipedia article. It's kind of pisses me off because all of everything what I say or try to disagree with in the servers is usually based on life experiences, but he tries to accuse that I learn everything from Wikipedia. That really
Hmm.
annoyed me. Like he's a history major, but he acts as if he knows everything when a lot of his opinions are either wrong or book. They're basically book smart knowledge, or he's wrong a lot of times. So it kind of pisses me off that he tries to force authority on everyone else. Yeah.
I remember that he posted some a long-winded rant slash announcement, right, on a polity. So
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, about. Uh,
What was it about?
don't worry about it. It was stupid.
I don't know, man. Like he has.
It
Was it about the dude who came up and started being casteist or something?
yeah.
That he said that he can't scold someone, but then he just put it all in quotes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was fucking pathetic. I swear to God.
It all of it was to do with.
Honestly, man, I just found it pathetic. What was funny or comical though was how the dude who got insulted by that paragraph long thing, he just called Harappan as MCBC and just left it there.
Who?
The dude who was being casteist, he just called Harappan
No, no.
MCBC.
So he said like my dad or something with whatever. It wasn't suitable for the server, or he wants the history channel to be more educative instead of like
Opinion
argumentative or
history.
I
yeah.
don't think he realizes how politicized Indian history is then.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
it
he's trying
is.
to. I don't. I think he's trying to put a
But
fair moral ground
he's
when
not. He just wants. He just said that he wants it to be more scientifically.
He wants people to
Uh,
be informed when
if
they
he
are
wants
expressing their
history to
opinion.
be more scientific, he
like
has to go into archaeology. I'm gonna say that right now. If he
Like
wants
I
history
think
to be more scientific, he has to go to
he,
archaeology, not
he is
Uh,
history.
in he is in archaeology. I think.
the thing
I
is,
don't think he is. He told that
people
he's
think
in
like
histories.
people on history think they
I
post
had to leave
about
because of him.
some things like the Aryan invasion and all that, which are like some of which are demonstrably false and some of which are demonstrably true. So
He's also
people
like
try
too
to
much of an
argue
elitist.
and lie. And,
Like
yeah,
I've been to so many servers and I've never seen like a channel locked only for like academics or PhDs. That's like heights of elitism.
You mean Indian servers?
No, not Indian. I'm talking generally.
are
Because
there any other active Indian servers?
Like there is even an economic server which Pat linked me where they discuss about like papers and all, right?
Yeah,
And it's not
they are pretty basic. Yeah, no judging.
I don't know, man. Like I am in a few. They do their shit. I don't think you're gonna get something that's really engaging in something like Discord. You're gonna have to go for something that's in colleges and such for that.
Can you link me those servers?
Which one? This
Whatever you're
oh
talking about.
the STEM ones? No. They're just partially dead at this point. They used to be good back then. I remember having asked some people there about my analog circuit uh, assignment. Some dude gave me a goddamn circuit in LT Spice, which actually performed way better than what was theoretically assumed in my textbooks.
Hmm.
So take it as you will, but that server used to be amazing. Now it's, I don't know, half active or something.
Hmm.
Vamsi, what movie were you watching before this?
Play that movie, we'll watch it together.
Yeah. Oh, oh. अरे वॉल्यूम
Share
नहीं है
audio.
ऑडियो ज़्यादा कर
Mute yourself.
press the mute 1 second. Just press, not pause. Why?
I don't want to get content ID by YouTube.
Do you know you're not in YouTube? Chutya.